It's beautiful. And it's been a lot of fun to learn the culture and to learn the way that the way you eat here, I guess, you know, the different types of food. It's kind of get a crash course in it, you know, in just a couple of days. We're trying to do a lot in a couple of days, but just, I mean, initially, I mean, just the driving along the coast, I mean, I learned pretty quickly why people come on vacation here. A little bit. I mean, I can kind of read some signs and kind of probably figure out what things are, but not enough to speak it and get around without some help.
But understand something?
A little bit, yeah. Un poquito. The golf course itself is actually really good. It's going to be a very hard walk for players and spectators, everyone. But yeah, I mean, it's very fair. You know, you're not hitting off. You have some side hill lies, but nothing crazy. Greens are very fair. The greens are great. They're fast. A little bit, the slopes are a little bit deceiving. You get above the hole, they can be very fast. But the setup-wise, you're going to have drivable par 4, first hole. You got some par 5s early that are going to be reachable. Kind of the meat of the golf course, though. You have a stretch of par 4s from 11 to, that'd be about 16. Yeah, through 16. I mean, that's where I think a lot of it's going to be decided. Probably not. I mean, that's what we were trying to do a lot in these couple of days, just with cost of travel and everything these days. But yeah, once I get a feel for the golf course of just kind of style of play, how kind of length of shots off tees, you know, how far you can hit shots, you know, if you're hitting a lot of drivers or if you're hitting less than drivers, like just how that would play into certain players, odds and evens, figuring out. So that's why I've just tried to take a lot of notes and, you know, got a great team of people from the LPGA that are helping me as far as logistics here in the hotel and decorations and figuring all that out too. No, I mean, I haven't seen much about it. We are going to certainly try to dive into the stats of it and just kind of go back and see how the golf course itself played and, you know, what won certain matches and things like that. Okay. Do I think they'll win? Yeah. Absolutely. What's that? Why? I think our team has gained a lot of experience over these last couple. I think, you know, it's a learning curve, this event. I mean, you really have to learn. It's learning match play of kind of when you can kind of sense that the other player's down and it's like, okay, it's time to be aggressive and let's go. And learning how to play together as partners and as teams and that, because we're taught, I mean, you learn this game by yourself. You practice it by yourself. You know, you're out there, just you and that golf ball, and you got to figure things out. So it's definitely is a learning curve, and we're going to be behind the scenes. I'm going to try to be as prepared and as organized as we have ever been, so that we can take some of the stress out of it too. I don't know. I mean, it's hard. The Solheim Cup is really hard on your top players. I will say that because I've been there. I've been that person, but two, the media talks about them. The expectations are higher for themselves already to begin with. You know, they kind of expect themselves to win every match they play. The media expects them to win every match they play. Their teammates probably don't expect it, but you do in a way. So it's a lot of pressure on your top players. And so truthfully, I want to take as much off of her plate as I can. You know, I want to, are they probably, yeah, those two are probably going to be a couple key contributors for us. But if I can make it feel like that they aren't, that they're just one of everybody else, you know, then hopefully for them it makes that week a little bit easier. Oh, how much time do you have? We could talk for days on what I learned. I mean, I learned so much. I mean, you learn very quickly as an assistant, as a captain. Once they're out on the golf course, there's really not a whole lot you can do. You know, once you set, especially Sunday, once you set your pairings, it's like sit back and just kind of watch the ride. You know, I mean, you can go talk to them and encourage them and do things like that, but there's, you know, the work's done, right? The work is all done ahead of time. So just being more prepared and really communicating with the players on what I need from them, but just kind of how the week's going to look. This is what we have to do. We have to do a photo call. We have to do this dinner. Like just communicating with them really well, and so that, you know, that the week is what they expect it to be. I think you could Epson and college golf as well. I think college golf has helped the European players tremendously, and then you see more going from college golf, going to play Epson instead of playing college golf and then going back and playing the LAT. The quality of play on Epson Tour has gotten so much better that these players are learning how to develop. They're more comfortable traveling in the U.S. and being in the U.S. And then once you have more Europeans over there, they're more comfortable anyway. Where there's, you know, when I first came on tour, there's, you know, a handful of Europeans, but now there's quite a few that are, and they're playing very well. And you're going to see it more. There's young ones coming out of school right now that are probably going to be on this next Solheim Cup team too. So, I think there's a comfort level there of having those other players to look up to and ask them questions. And, you know, do I get a home base in the States? Do I rent something there, or do I travel back and forth? Like, how do I do this? And there's just more help there now. Play-wise, it could be. I mean, you have a little bit of a changing of the guard, I think, a little bit there. I mean, you've got some of your more veteran players that are getting a little bit older, where you got some younger ones kind of coming up. You know, Leona Maguire's going to be trouble for us. You know, she's such a good putter that, you know, in match play that shows up every time. So, you know, I don't know. I mean, it could be one of the best European teams by far. I mean, but you don't know how those young ones that are inexperienced, you don't know how they're going to handle that moment too. So, experience at a Solheim Cup always usually plays out. Well, they're two people. I mean, I could call them friends. I mean, I've played a lot of golf with them. We've traveled a lot together, and I just think so cool for them to have a Solheim Cup in your home country. I mean, when Carlotta steps on that tee, I mean, it's going to go nuts. I mean, gives me goosebumps just thinking about it. You know, I just think what a cool experience for her. Towards the, you know, where she's established herself, she's maybe, you know, kind of in that her prime in the middle of her career here, where she can make another run. And you know, for Arthur, I hope Arthur makes the team. I mean, she's from so close to here, and just having the baby. So I mean, hopefully she can get on a run. And the same thing. I mean, just the environment, and gosh, what a cool experience for them. No, I mean, if Solheim Cup was in September, yes, we would definitely be worried. But yeah, we're over a year away, and you worry about everybody with injuries, gosh, because you never know. You could hit a root hitting a shot, and somebody could get hurt. So you worry about everybody, but you know, they're all kind of like my little kids now, and I'm just checking on them and making sure they're doing okay. But yeah, I want us playing our best golf next summer. So I'm not worried about it right now, and just making sure they take care of themselves.